How to install an Anaconda environment. Whenever you install Anaconda, you're given a default environment, which means that by default, if you're not specifying any specific environment, any code that you will run will be executing in the base Anaconda environment. Now, in many cases, it is a good idea to create separate environments, and an environment is a sub-collection with a Python installation and a variety of different packages with certain versions, simply because it allows you to fix and isolate different installations of Python with different packages for different projects. For example, let's say that you're running a particular project and you've been working on that for a while, so you're using certain versions, but now you want to start a new project for which you need different packages, but maybe some of these packages require you to use a newer version. If you were to use one big installation of Python in Anaconda, it might be that your code will work after updating for one project, but it stops working for another, simply because you use different versions of the same package in order to install everything. Using different Anaconda environments allows you to specify what packages and versions you want to use for a particular installation. Then anytime you're going to work on a particular project, you will have to activate that environment and then do all the Python related activities that you intend to do. Now, in order to create an environment, you can either just create a new environment that's empty and then use the traditional conda install and pip install commands in order to add content to that environment. But in this case, we will be using an alternative method where we have a file that is called an environment.yml file that has already specified what packages we would like. So for this example, I will be using this file right here. Let me open it up here. So a environment.yml file will have a variety of different information here, but this is for the Limburg Python course, and it will tell you that the name of this Anaconda environment has to be Limburg Python. It will tell us that there's a certain channels that we need. You don't need to concern yourself with that. It tells us that we want to use Python 3.7, and then it provides a list of different packages that we would like to install, either via conda install or that we would like to install via pip install. And then what we can do is we can tell Anaconda that we would like to create an environment using this environment.yml file. And it will do that. It will name it as provided in the file, and it will automatically install all the different packages that are listed in that particular file. So in this case, if we want to do this, we navigate or we open up our Anaconda prompt or terminal window, depending on whether we're using Windows or Mac OS. Then what we do is we follow the steps to navigate to the folder where our environment.yml file is located. There's a separate video on how to do this if you do not know how to do this just yet. In this case, you want to make sure that you're located in the right folder. In my case, the environment.yml file is located in F Limburg Python master. I can confirm in my command prompt or terminal window that this is my current working directory. So I see here F Limburg Python master. Now the way that you can install a conda environment based on an environment.yml file would be to type the following command. And you have to make sure you're in the right working directory, otherwise this will obviously not work. We would type conda, we would type env for environments, we would type create, we would specify that we would like to create one based on a file, so we'd do -f, and then we will specify the name of the environment.yml file. And then we click enter. Now what it's going to do is it's going to do a bunch of steps to make sure that everything gets installed properly. These steps can take quite a long time depending on the size and the amount of packages that you would like to install. Once your installation has completed installing, then what you can do is you can now activate your newly created conda environment. Now in the front here, and it's likely going to show up slightly different on your end because it looks different depending on the way you set it up. You will see here that it says Anaconda, which means that in my case, I'm running the base installation. This depends on where you installed it. Now, if I want to activate it, what I need to do is I need to type conda activate and then the name of the environment that I would like to activate. You can find this name either in the documentation for whatever you're following, or you can look up the environment.yml file. So in this case, we're opening up the Limburg Python environment. So I type the name of the environment and I click enter. Now, if everything went well, it should not throw an error, and you should now see in front here reflected that we're now in the Limburg Python Conda environment. And now anything Python related that we're going to do will be using whatever we installed in that environment. Whenever we install new packages, it's all going to be contained in that particular environment. And if we switch out of the environment, which we can do by typing conda deactivate, is going to be contained. So if we install something while in the Limburg Python environment and we then deactivate it, we cannot use that package in the default Anaconda installation, and vice versa, because these are isolated separate instances of Python with their own packages and the like.